Hello everyone, myself Piyush Kumar from the team Commanded presenting my solution for the personalized finance tracker problem statement using Pathway and Fetch AI. So this is the homepage of our application. Uh, Here you find two sections, one for the upload file section and one for the analytics section. In these analytics section you can find the details of the user's transactions and all related stuffs in a very nice and in a very nice manner. We have represented it using different multiple graphs to make it more visually practical. You can find these are all based on the data which user enters. Basically, here you can see user can select from the its previous bank statements, like for the month of December, February, which he has uploaded on our website. Uh, we have given user upload file option where he can upload the file which will be we will be using to build our data set for this RAG pipeline. Basically, user can upload his monthly bank statement every month so that our agent can answer his queries properly. Uh, what happen is that when user upload his monthly statement, we have a fetch AI based input reader parser agent which parse the document and store the transactions first locally, then divided into chunks and contextual embeddings and stored it into pathways vector database. It is also connected through Google Drive, so it is dynamic in nature and it is connected to pathway vector store directly. So now I will upload a file uh, and let you see what happens. We have to click on browse file. Then let's say we select this November 2024 bank statement. Okay, the file got selected. We have to click on add file data. So as you can see, the input file have been processed. This is the transactions which is fetched by our fetch AI based input reader parser agent. These transactions are stored locally for further use and stored on Pathways vector database so that in future when user asks any query, then our agent can call the Pathway vector database to fetch the most relevant contextual embeddings from it. And now you can see basically we have November 2024 option here. So when I click on this, these are the transaction datas on that month, and these are the visual representation of its balance and withdrawals and all. Now I will show you the chunks which is uploaded on Google Drive. Basically, this is the Google Drive which is connected to our Pathway Dynamic Vector Data Space. Uh, as you can see, this is the code of the Google Drive. We have connected it to Pathway. Now the second feature of our web app is a query transaction. User can enter any query here and get its most relevant transactions. Basically, if he wants to see which transactions, basically if he want to get some transaction based on some statement, he can get. So let's say I write a query. Uh, what I spent in last month, and I click on get relevant transaction. It is running. So it has fetched us the relevant transaction. As you can see, the dates are of February and the current month is March. So I asked it for last month spendings and it has given us all the transactions of the last month. We have also represented it using a graph where user can see its spending, its balance over time, basically the for the whole month of February. what happening at the backend is, when I ask any query, we have our fetch AI based relevant document agent, which basically search over our local database, the table based database which we have maintained, and mm, based on query, uh, it basically get the context from the pathways vector database, and based on that context it finds the most relevant chunks, and based on these chunks it gets the transactions. So the next and the main feature of our app is the chat feature, where user can ask anything, whatever he wants about his transactions, his financial details, basically the whole bank state about the whole bank statement.
लिखना
So
पूछना can I spend $50?
so let's say I write a query. Uh, what are my total spending uh, between 1 March and let's say 20 March. I click on get answer. It is running. As you can see, it has answered our query. The answer is the total spending between 1 March and 20 March is 299.0 from the 20th March transaction plus 299 plus 20, and finally it is given the total answer of 3600. So the total transaction between these dates is 3600. Also, we have this section filter transaction, which basically tells the transaction which our model used to get the output based on the user query. And we have also represented it using some graph based stuff so that user can visualize it more clearly. Here you can see on the side we have the dates, which are basically the time period of the filter transaction which are used to answer the query. What is happening at the backend is, whenever user enter a query, we have a context needed agent, fetch AI based context needed agent, which basically first check whether the query uses which is basically the query requires any financial documents, something like stuff or not. If it doesn't require anything, then we have a open source Mistral based agent which answer the user query. But if it requires the financial documents, then we have another fetch AI based relevant document agent which fetches the relevant documents from our local database, and which fetches also the context from our pathways vector database. Then this contextual chunks and the relevant transactions is fetched to our generate answer agent, which finally generate the answer based on the user query, the fetch chunks, contextual chunks, and the relevant transactions. So if I ask again something like hello, how are you, and click on get answer, then as you can see the assistant answers. Then sorry for the disturbance. Then as you can see, the assistant answer, hello, I am an artificial intelligence, I don't have feeling. So this is the general answer. We don't need any file for that. So we have basically implemented the routing for it. Now the final and the last feature of our app is the search feature. Basically, user can let us know any month and the starting date and ending date, and we will fetch all transactions from that. And we have also used graphs to visualize it. Let me use it for fun time. Let's say I entered for the month of November, and the start date is, let's say, 1th, and end date is, let's say, 16. Uh, and I click on search. So as you can see, it has basically given us all the transactions between this time period. So there are 5 transactions. This is the balance over time, day wise balance. Then this is deposit versus withdrawal graph, and this is cumulative deposit versus withdrawal, and this is daily transaction count, basically between the time period which we have asked for. So this summarize all the transactions. User can get this sheet and interact with these graphs. So this is our solution for the financial uh, tracker app problem statement. We have used pathways vector data base almost every time whenever we make a request based on user query, and we have implemented all our agents using Fetch AI U agents library. I can show you some code. So this is our the code of our Streamlit app. So this is the code where we have implemented all the agents. As you can see, this is input detail parser agent, relevant document agent. All these are implemented using Fetch AI, and this is our basically this is connected to Google Drive. This we have used this as pathways vector database. As you can see, basically this is the server side, and this is the client side of pathways vector database, and we are fetching the document using the client as retriever and langchain. So that's it. Thank you. So finally, we have represented our approach using this diagram. So basically, this is our Streamlit app at the beginning. Uh, so whenever user enter any query, or user can enter a new financial document, so the new financial document goes to our fetch AI based agent, which parse the document, and as you can see, it is going to a output table. So this is our local database which stores the transactions. It is connected to Google Drive, and through Google Drive it is connected to pathway dynamic vector database. Basically what is happening is whenever user enter a new documents, it is updated live on Google Drive, and basically by this we have used the functionality of pathway to basically connect to our agent or connect to new document live without restarting the server or without restarting our app. The second feature, the second is the user query. Whenever user query, so basically we have four things which I explained you in the video. We have a net data visualizing agent which works in our home page, which visualize all the data which we have of the user till now. We have a query data visualizing agent and relative, basically relevant document fetching agent. These all are pathway fetch AI based agent. Mm, I have explained you their works in the video. We have a query transaction agent. All these queries, so basically this is our query answer agent. So whenever user enter a query, what happens is we fetch the context and the contextual chunks from the dynamic vector store of pathway, and we pass it through a modified additive rag. This is not the normal additive rag. We have modified it a little bit. The second thing which comes from our fetch AI based agent, in which gets its input from this output table, our local database, and it fetches the relevant transaction. And these two things, the contextual chunks and the relevant transaction, is passed to this query answering agent, which computes the final chat output. So this is our approach for the solution. We have tried to implement four features, and all four features we have a slightly different approach, so that in every feature we can have the minimum time period and the maximum results. So, and also this is our second graph which shows the agents which we have used throughout the app. The yellow box are agents, and the red box are their outputs. As you can see, they have relevant document agent. All these are fetch AI based agent. The upload agent, in few of the agent we have used open source Mistral or maybe Hugging Face based LLMs. So that's it. This is the overview for our Fetch AI based agent, and I think I have explained everything clearly. Thank you.